What's up, everyone? It's your boy Jamie Mack coming back at you with another mock draft video. We got the 3.0 version. This is going to be pre-free agency post-combine edition. So I'm going to be selecting for all 32 teams. I'm going to be doing what I would do if I was the general manager of each team. There's going to be no trades in this draft. As I said, we're going to do that later when we start getting closer to the draft, and there's going to be a one-round, first-round mock draft. So we're going to head over to the computer, and we're going to do the draft on there. All right, everyone, welcome to the mock draft 3.0. I'm going to be doing it a rapid fire edition. I usually take a long time explaining everything, but I've gone in depth in my other videos, so if you want to see my reasoning for that, check out my other videos in the description below. With that being said, let's get to it and let's get through it. Chase Young, Joe Burrow, Jeff Okudah. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Anyways, first pick with the Cincinnati Bengals, we got Joe Burrow, obviously, going to the Cincinnati Bengals at number 1. He had a historical year. I say this every video. He's had a historical year. He threw 60 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, a 10-to-1 ratio. He's a baller, man. Smoking cigars after national championship. He's a boss. Cincinnati Bengals, moving on from Andy Dalton, need their signal caller of the future, bringing the alpha dog Joe Burrow. Washington Redskins are on the clock, and they're going to take the best player available in Chase Young. Edge rusher is not a dying need for them. It's not something that they really need, but let's be honest, Chase Young is what you need on your team. He's an alpha predator. He's going to be hunting the quarterbacks. He's going to be a top 5 edge rusher probably for his whole career. He is what you need on the line. Moving on to the number 3 pick, we have the Detroit Lions. I'm switching it up again. I'm going back with my normal thing. I'm having them draft Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons running a 4.39 at the combine is fucking ridiculous, man. He's like 240 pounds almost. He can play any position. He's versatile. Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator for the Patriots before he became the head coach for the Detroit Lions, will know how to use him. Bringing a guy like that, it looks like they're keeping Darius Slay. Denver traded for AJ Boye, one of the main suitors for Darius Slay. I think they're asking too much, so they're going to keep Darius Slay, bringing Isaiah Simmons to beast up that defense. We got the New York Giants, and everyone's going tackle here, but you got Jeff Okudah on the board. Bring in a lockdown corner. Give DeAndre Baker on the other side. Match up with the number 2 receiver. Let Jeff Okudah come in and man up the number 1 guy. We got Jeff Okudah going to the Giants. They can get a tackle later, maybe in free agency as well. We got the Miami Dolphins on the clock. Tua Tagovailoa is going to be the pick here. They have so many damn needs on that team, but start off by bringing in Tua. There's tank for Tua for a reason. He has been linked, and Tua is, when healthy, probably the best quarterback in this draft, even above Joe Burrow. I love his ability to throw the ball. We got the Chargers on the clock. It looks like they need a tackle, but this is pre-free agency. They don't have a quarterback on their roster, so we're going to give them Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has everything you want in a quarterback. He's long, he's tall, he's strong, he's mobile. He needs better decision making, but he can be coached up. College players coming out are not supposed to be perfect products. They're supposed to be what you can do with them. It's the potential. It's the coaching. That is why the NFL exists, is to get the most out of their players. Justin Herbert has immense potential. Bring him in, let him be the quarterback for the future, and hope that you have your quarterback for the next 10 to 12 years. We got the Carolina Panthers on the clock, and I got them taking Derek Brown with Jeff Okudah and Isaiah Simmons off the board. You have a disruptive player on the interior of the defensive line. Match him up with K1 shorts in the middle, and you have a formidable front. It looks like the Carolina Panthers are going to tank with the recent trade of giving away their Pro Bowl guard Trey Turner for a washed-up Russell Okung. So it looks like they're heading downward trajectory, but beef up that middle, give them Derek Brown, and go on your way. At 8, we have the Arizona Cardinals, and obviously you got CeeDee Lamb on the board. Makes a lot of sense. He was the number 1 target for Kyler Murray at Oklahoma, but you got Jedrick Wills on the board. It is a gift. Solidify your line. DJ Humphries coming back, but get Jedrick Wills. Best tackle in the draft. Secure your number 1 pick. Protect him. Get a receiver later on in this historically deep draft. We got number 9 now. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock, and they could go a lot of ways. But they're releasing Marcel Darius. It looks like they're just pumping out the rest of their defense. I'm going to give them my boy, Javon Kinlaw, to do something in that middle of that defense. I feel like that defense is what they need to really really fixed right now. I mean, of course they could go cornerback, but I feel like all the players that they want are off the board, and they don't need offensive tackle as much as they need defensive help. And Javon Kinlaw, in my opinion, is the best player on the board. Give him Javon Kinlaw, stick him in the middle, and let him wreak havoc. So now we got the 10. We got the Cleveland Browns on the clock, and after Tristan Wirfs' combine, where he broke the record for the broad jump and the vertical jump, wow, man, like, this guy is a freak. 320 pounds, 6'5". He's prototypical left tackle size. Get him in there. Cleveland Browns just are ready to compete right now. They just need help on that line. Bring in Tristan Wirfs. Bada boom, bada bing, baby. All right, we got number 11 here. You got both wide receivers still on the board, CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy, but they're going tackle. Looks like they're going to lose Kelvin Beachum, their left tackle, in free agency, and who knows, they might be able to sign Robbie Anderson. So I'm giving them Mekhi Becton, the Mountain. Bring him in there, put him on the left side, protect Sam Darnold, figure out the rest of the roster later. All right, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. That is so fucking weird to say. Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. They got their choice of CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. They're going to take Jerry Jeudy. I like his fit. I like his route running. Jerry Jeudy is, in my opinion, my favorite receiver in this draft. I have him very high on my big board. If you haven't seen that video, click the link up there. It'll take you right there. I have Jerry Jeudy as my number 5 player on board. He's very high. Anyways, but Jerry Jeudy's going to be the pick for the Las Vegas Raiders. And now moving on to pick number 13, we have the Indianapolis Colts. And where are the Indianapolis Colts going to go? It looks like they're going to pursue Phillip Rivers, but Phillip Rivers only has a couple years left. And what kind of player takes a couple years to develop? A quarterback. Got Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay sitting under Favre, elite level Hall of Fame quarterback turned into. I like them going for, where is my boy here? Come on, son. I'm trying to find my player, man. Come on. What's going on here, man? There we are. Jordan, 37. They did him dirty. I got the Colts taking Jordan Love. Yeah, they could go CeeDee Lamb here, but I like Jordan Love. I think, as I said, Jordan Love has a high ceiling. Some people are saying he's the poor man Patrick Mahomes, but shut up with that shit. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback that doesn't come along very often. So saying Jordan Love is that's not some shit. Jordan Love has a great physical tools. He needs some time to develop. It's perfect situation if they bring in Phillip Rivers. If they don't, they got Jacoby Brissett for another year. Let Jordan Love sit, let him learn, let him develop, hone his skills, and have the quarterback of the future. So now we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In my opinion, I was looking at the stats. Tampa Bay had the number 1 rush defense in the league last year and the number 31 pass defense in the league last year. They have shit all over the board in the back end. Get yourself a number 1 corner. I was impressed with what CJ Henderson did in the combine. Around a 4.39. He looks like the best corner on the field in the positional drills. Get CJ Henderson. He leapfrogged Christian Fulton to be the number 2 corner in this draft for me. Get CJ Henderson. Shore up that back end and put him in the Tampa Bay secondary. All right, we got the Denver Broncos on the clock. For Denver, they need a receiver. It looks more and more like we just are going to go receiver. So I like CeeDee Lamb is on the board. I like Henry Ruggs. I think Henry Ruggs might be a better fit for what we're doing in Denver, but CeeDee Lamb is going to just be a stud receiver wherever he goes. So CeeDee Lamb is the better talent. Henry Ruggs has the higher mismatch, but CeeDee Lamb doesn't need to be the number 1 receiver. We have Cortland Sutton. We have Noah Fant. We got the gunslinger Drew Lock. CeeDee Lamb is a playmaker. Put him in for Denver. 16, we got the Atlanta Falcons on the clock. Who is Atlanta going to go with? Atlanta needs an edge rusher. They've gone with speed rushers, Tack McKinley, and Vic Beasley, and they haven't been what they wanted to, but I feel like Kayvon Chason. I mean, even though he's another speed rusher, I think he has higher upside than either of them. So bring in Kayvon Chason. They need edge pressure. Letting go of Vic Beasley to free agency. Bring him in and put him on that line. All right, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. Rumors have it, re-signing Amari Cooper, re-signing Dak Prescott, letting go of Byron Jones. Letting go of Byron Jones, in my opinion, is a big mistake because it leaves him very bare in the back end. So bring in Christian Fulton. Obviously, Xavier McKinney would be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. They've been needing a safety for years, but you lose your number 1 corner, you need to get a number 1 corner. So bring in Christian Fulton, shore up that secondary, and go on from there. So now we have Miami Dolphins on the clock, and they need somebody to protect Tua Tagovailoa. Luckily, Andrew Thomas is still on the board. I don't know how, but I mean, there's so many good players in this draft that one guy has to fall, and Andrew Thomas is that guy. I like Andrew Thomas as my number 3 tackle, but Andrew Thomas is going to be the pick. Protect Tua, protect Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to play right away and go on from there. So now we have the Las Vegas Raiders back on the clock, and they need a linebacker really bad. They just released Tahir Whitehead, so they're even more bare in the back end. I have them taking Kenneth Murray, my number 1 middle linebacker. Well, I don't even know, because if you call Isaiah Simmons a middle linebacker, then he's my number 2 middle linebacker. So Kenneth Murray, I'm going to call him my number 1 middle linebacker, other side of Isaiah Simmons, because Isaiah Simmons plays defense. So now we have the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock, and they're shit all over the board. Letting go of Jalen Ramsey, which is this is the pick they're going to choose for Jalen Ramsey, and trading AJ Boye, cap dump to Denver. They have nobody in the secondary. Get your guy in the secondary. I mean, they could take a slew of different cornerbacks here, but I'm going to go with my number 4 cornerback, and that's Jeff Gladney out of Texas Christian University. I also like AJ Terrell, the way he ran and stuff, but Jeff Gladney has the sweetest feet. I love him. I think he is a great cornerback prospect. Bring him in to Jacksonville, Duval County, and let him be the number 1 corner there in Jacksonville. So the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock, and somehow, by the grace of God, the Philadelphia Eagles have Henry Ruggs at their doorstep. Boop. Put him in. Henry Ruggs to the Eagles. They need a playmaker. They need a stud receiver. They need secondary and positional help. And so Henry Ruggs, what a dream. Bring him in there. So now we have the Buffalo Bills on the clock, and a riser for me that who is going to Buffalo is we're going to give them Justin Jefferson out of LSU. Answered a lot of questions in the combine with his long speed, ran a 4.4 or 4.43 40. Very good, very sure hands, a good route runner, very, very smooth player. Josh Allen is a wild quarterback, doesn't have the best accuracy. Give him a bigger target who can go up and get it, and give him Justin Jefferson from LSU. So now we have the Patriots on the clock, and they can go in a lot of different directions, but come on, son. If you want Tom Brady to come back, you got to get his ass some weapons. Give yourself a big boy in the middle. Give him T. Higgins. Give him T. Higgins. I don't know what the hell he was doing by not running at the combine, but god damn. I mean, just give him T. Higgins. T. Higgins can go up and get the ball. He's better after catch than a lot of people give him credit for. N'Keal Harry, Julian Edelman, T. Higgins. Go get yourself a tight end in the draft. Or, I heard they're trading for Tate and Hurst. But give him some weapons. If you want Tom Brady to come back, give him some weapons. T. Higgins is that weapon. So now we got the New Orleans Saints at number 24 on the clock. I have them going with a heavier Jalen Reagor. I like Jalen Reagor a lot as a player. He didn't do himself any favor by showing up heavy at the combine and running slower 40 than anticipated. He still ran in the 4.4s still, but he is a really big burner. And Michael Thomas can't do it all for the whole of his career. Even though he set the record for most catches in the season, obliterated that record, they need Jalen Reagor. I mean, they need to take the pressure off somehow. I feel like you just need to do that kind of thing. So bring in Jalen Reagor, put him in New Orleans. I got a plane flying over, what the hell? It doesn't matter. So now we're on 25, where we got the Minnesota Vikings on the clock. They could go in a lot of different directions. They could go corner. They could go tackle. And that's exactly who I have them going. I have them going tackle here. I have them going Josh Jones out of Houston. Josh Jones, to me, is a clone of Andre Dillard. If you don't know who Andre Dillard is, he was drafted with the number 22 overall pick last year by the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's a really good tackle out of Washington State. Very good pass protector, very long. I feel like Riley Reif is on the decline. Minnesota got eaten up last year when they played San Francisco. Yeah, they got just crushed. And so they need to protect Kirk Cousins. I mean, they could draft a quarterback here if they like Jacob Eason. I like Josh Jones. I feel like they could get a cornerback in the second round, someone like Jalen Johnson, someone like Bryce Hall. You know, you could just take Trayvon Diggs, make Stephon Diggs happy, but, you know, might as well get a tackle and solidify that offensive line. So now we have the Dolphins on the clock. They could go in a slew of different directions. I've said this in all my drafts. The most important positions on a football team are the quarterback position, the offensive tackle position, and the edge rusher. So with the first pick, they took Tua. With the second pick, they took Andrew Thomas. And now with the edge rusher, they're going to take A.J. Epinesa out of Iowa. A.J. Epinesa had a very, very poor combine. But he is very, very tough to block. If you look at any of his tape, if you talk to anybody who's ever talked to about A.J. Epinesa, he's a very tough person to block. He's very good with his hands. He can wreck games by himself. And I feel like A.J. Epinesa is going to fall, but he could be a steal of this draft. So give him A.J. Epinesa, number 26. People say they want to take a running back here like DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins. Man, you got so many good second-round running backs. Just wait, get a good player like A.J. Epinesa and come back to the second-round running back. Look how many beast running backs are in the league that were in the later of the draft. Phillip Lindsay, undrafted. Austin Eckler just got paid, undrafted. drafted. Alvin Kamara, 3rd round. Kareem Hunt when he wasn't kicking bitches, 3rd round. It's just there, you can get them later. So now we got number 27. And number 27, who we going with here? It's the Seahawks are literally impossible. I don't know who they're ever going to take. You can say, oh, they're going to take this and that, but I have them taking my boy. Where is he? Damn. God damn. Are they still not putting Marlon Davidson up here, man? Come on, son. Marlon Davidson's the man. Oh, no, they got number 72. They didn't even have him ranked last time. Give him Marlon Davidson. I love Marlon Davidson, man. He's a dog. So put him in there. Let him go abuse men. If anybody heard that sound bite of him at the draft, basically talking about how the best thing about playing football is just beating the shit out of a grown-ass man. Marlon Davidson's that dude, man. Marlon Davidson, going to number 27, the dog mentality, bringing to Pete Carroll's defense, get some pass rush, because their first-round pick, A.J. Collier, last year, didn't do shit. So, bring in Marlon Davidson, get some edge pressure. We got number 28. We got the Baltimore Ravens coming through here. The recipe for the Baltimore Ravens is to get some pass rush. They're going to franchise Matt Judon, and they very well could go a safety here because they let go of Tony Jefferson. But for me, I like Zach Bond. I like his twitched up ability to come off the edge. I like him here, and I think that's the way they're going to go. Zach Bond, Baltimore Ravens. So now we're on 29. We got the Tennessee Titans, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the quarterback position. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen at the running back position with Derrick Henry. For me, I think the Tennessee Titans are going to go pass rush as well. I mean, Cameron Wake can't play forever, and they have Harold Landry, but they have nobody on the outside. I mean, beef up that defense, you know, and see what they're going to do in offense. They have a solid line. They have solid receivers. Bring in your Turgros Matos off the edge to pair him with Harold Landry and have Tennessee have a formidable front. So now we got the 30th pick, and we got the Green Bay Packers on the clock, and the Green Bay Packers, no secret there, they need a wide receiver. So I'm giving them a riser here who ran a 4.39 at 6'3", and you got your boy Denzel Mims out of Baylor. Look at this boy right here, 205 pounds, run a 4.39. I think he's a very good player. I feel like that's just a different player to what Devontae Adams is. Devontae Adams is over the middle type of guy, and I feel like Denzel Mims could be that burner for them. He could also go up and get it as well. So Denzel Mims, a riser to me, makes it in the first round of the back end, goes to Green Bay. So on the last two picks, the Super Bowl participants, we got the San Francisco 49ers coming in. You need to get some help all over the board. Psych! San Francisco's got a beast-ass team. So just take the best player available. I like Xavier McKinney here. He should be gone, but Xavier McKinney goes in at the back end of the first round, takes over for Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tart, and gives them an enforcer in the back. And I like Xavier McKinney, but unfortunately, he couldn't go any higher. I mean, Dallas just let go of Byron Jones. I would have given him there, but sorry, man. So now we got the last pick of the draft, of this mock draft. Number 32, we got the Kansas City Chiefs on the clock, and they can go in a lot of different directions. I was going to give them interior defensive line, but the franchising Chris Jones, so no need there. They could go DeAndre Swift, but they only have 5 picks in this draft, and I feel like they want to get better on defense. And what better way to get on defense than giving them a modern day linebacker in Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen is a very good linebacker. Bring him in, put him in the red, and give him a chance to win a Super Bowl with Pat Mahomes as the quarterback. So that's the end of this draft. I'm going to go over it again. Joe Burrow, Chase Young, you already know what it is if you're paying attention. I will be eventually coming out with 2-round mock drafts, just because 2-round mock drafts are way more fun than 1-round mock drafts, but it is what it is, man. I like to have more information before I start picking off other stuff. I'm going to start introducing trades in the upcoming mock drafts as well, so stay tuned for that. So thank you very much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Give me a like and a subscribe and a share if you like this video. It really helps out the channel, really supports me, helps grow my audience so I can make more videos, reach more people, and get more feedback on what I need to do. So I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I'm Jamie Mack, and I'll see you next time. Later!